Dr. Seuss hat to read our final book, the book about Easter Bunny, Easter Bunny's Amazing Day. So this is a little bunny who encounters some amazing things. So I hope we can follow along. Hi, I'm the Easter Bunny, but I wasn't always the Easter Bunny. Can I tell you my story? Long ago, when I was just a little bunny, I lived with my mama and my papa and my brothers and sisters and lots of brothers and sisters. We lived in a really beautiful garden and we had plenty of yummy grass to eat. We had young animals, friends to play with too. My best friend was a mouse. He was really good at hide and seek. And I was just really good at hiding, not so much at seeking. You see, I had a problem. I was afraid of nearly everything, nearly all the time. I was afraid of the dark. I was afraid of the thunder, lightning, shadows, and crowds. And especially horses. One time, I had to dart out from under the horses' pounding hooves when a group of riders came galloping through the garden. I was so scared I shivered and could hardly eat for a week. The only thing scarier than horses was the dark and gloomy cave from the corner of the garden. I could never go in it. It looks dark and scary in there. One time, everything I was afraid of happened all on the same day. It started with riders on horses yelling at a crowd of people going past the garden. See what's going on? See all the people? Does that look familiar? Later on, it grew dark, and in the middle of the day, there was a tremendous storm with thunder and lightning. Even the ground shook under me. I didn't know where to go. I had to hide somewhere, so I ran right into the cave. I cowered in the corner for a long, long time. Later, the storm ended, and a group of people came into the cave holding torches. They brought a man wrapped in a white clothes and laid him on a flat piece of rock. See Jesus? Then they all went out. Before I could move, they rolled a big stone in front of the entrance and to the cave, and I was stuck inside, in the dark. It's pretty scary, huh? I was in there for 3 days with the man wrapped in white cloth. There was something about him. At least I wasn't alone. Then the most amazing thing happened. The cave was filled with light, so brightly I could barely see. The man got up, and the light was coming from him. He glowed. There was a sound of air swoosh into the cave, like the room was taking a deep breath of fresh air in the whole world. As the air whooshed back out, the stone rolled away, and the cave was open again. Light streamed in and out. I inched forward a bit. The man saw me. I wanted to run. He stooped down and held out his hand and smiled at me. When I saw his eyes, I didn't want to run away anymore. With my front paw, I stepped up onto his warm fingers and sniffed. His touch made me feel warm inside. He scooped me up and held me close to his heart and took me outside. He stroked my fur with a gentle hands and said, "Do not be afraid, little bunny. I am with you." Hearing his voice, I knew I'd never be afraid again. The special day when the man who glowed came out of the dark is called Easter. They call me the Easter Bunny because that was the amazing day he took all my fears away. Thank you, Jesus, for Easter and for everything. The end. So that's our last story on the Easter Bunny. As we prepare for Easter, we prepare to enter into what Jesus did for us. And so the craft that I want to do is called Resurrection Eggs. And so we're going to send information on a website on what you need and what you can do. But what you need is an egg carton with 12 pieces and 12 eggs. So I got a 48 egg container of eggs right here. But you can just pick out 12 of them and then you number them. And when you number them, you can do that with a marker or whatever, then you find things that fit on the story of Jesus' passion. And so the information that they put out, there's several different options, but I'm just going to read the 12 that I'm going to try and find. And so you can make this fun for the kids. They can go on a scavenger hunt. They can seek through the house and see if they can find something, and you can help them put it together after they find what they need. Or if they're younger, maybe you want to help assemble all the things, and then you can help them with the eggs, putting the eggs in the stuff with them. But you get the eggs and you get the carton, and then you got to find different things. So a palm branch could just be like any leaf, honestly. Soap. So the palm branch is for Palm Sunday and for us honoring Jesus, bringing him as he enters into Jerusalem. Soap to wash feet, because Jesus washes the feet of his disciples on Holy Thursday. A cracker from the Last Supper, so some bread, which is very important for us, of course. A flower for the garden, when Jesus is in the garden. Some dimes for Judas's silver. Ropes for Jesus arresting, so when he was captured. A crown of thorns you can make from twigs, which is pretty easy to find outside. And then they have nails, but I would say maybe skip the nails, just because we're going to have the crucifix, so the nails are intrinsic with that. So maybe do the crucifix instead of the nails to symbolize his crucifixion. A sponge with vinegar, I like that a lot because it adds both smell and that sort of bringing that image when Jesus was offered vinegar on the sponge on the cross. And then spices and fabric for his burial, and a stone. And so the stone for his tomb. But then the final egg is empty because it's the resurrection egg. So the last egg is like the empty tomb. But you can use any number of things. They have different options as well. So whatever you think you have and whatever you think your child will be able to find, I think this is going to be a fun craft to do as we're sort of encouraged to be at home at this time, to find some cool ways to symbolize Jesus' passion and to help bring to life what Jesus did for us. And then you assemble them all with eggs and put each egg in, each thing in the egg, and you number them 1 through 12. And then you set them up in your carton like that. So I'm going to do that as well, and I'm going to come back to you afterwards and show you what I've completed, what I got together, and then we can share the cool things that we found, hopefully on the forum. To any of the parents that were able to come to our information meeting about leadership in Storytime with Father Rob, we've set up the website Families with Young Children specifically to help build ideas. But right now, because of being isolated, I think it's a good time to share some of our ideas, how we're helping our kids learn, helping to take care of them maybe when you have a little bit more time with them than normal. And this group is open to anyone who is interested in helping to lead events with families with young children. We're going to figure out more things to do, maybe summer or late summer, maybe even early fall, depending how things work out. But I encourage anyone who's interested in joining the group to contact Kimberly Gatelius at the parish office or myself through email, and we'll get you signed up in that group. But the parents who are already in that group, I encourage also just to start having a conversation with each other, thinking about things that you do or you've done with your child that might be interesting or helpful for other parents that maybe we can share. We can disseminate some of that information out to all the kids. But it was great to be with you all. Thank you so much for watching this, and I hope that you enjoyed it. And I hopefully, if these things continue, maybe I'll be able to do another one of these next month or sometime in the near future. So God bless you. I love you all, and I look forward to seeing you in person sometime very soon.
Hello, friends. Good morning. Took a couple days to put my eggs together. I got them all assembled here, 1 through 12. And there's a lot of flexibility in this. I just used what I could find. I'll have the attachment to the website, or the website will be in under the video for you to use if you need any ideas. But more or less, the resurrection and eggs are all about telling the story of Jesus. So after you have your eggs all numbered, you want to put the kinds of things that you want in each egg. So in my first egg, I have a little piece of palm I cut off from my blessed palm from last year to remind us of Jesus' triumphant entry into Jerusalem. Or you can also have a donkey or something else that reminds us of Jesus' triumphant entry. In my second egg, I have a little piece of soap to remind me that Jesus washed the feet of his disciples, calling us to servant leadership. In my third egg, I have a little piece of bread because he broke bread with the apostles, the institution of the Eucharist. Deacon Jeremy made this bread, so I probably should use something else. We'll see how it works. It might just become stale, but I don't want to keep it in there for too long. It might become moldy. You can also use a cracker. For the fourth, I have a dried flour. I also have this other flour, which is a fake flour. So used for the Garden of Gethsemane, where Jesus prayed before his passion. The fifth is 30 cents, all silver, for the 30 silver that Judas was paid to betray Jesus. In my sixth egg, I have some chain. You can also use rope for the binding of Jesus when they captured him after Judas betrayed him with a kiss. In the seventh egg, I have, so they said you could use the crown of thorns. I have Mary. So on his way to his crucifixion, he met Mary, his mother. So I have a little miraculous medal in there to remind me of when Jesus met his mother. Also, if you've seen the Passion, you see that scene where Mary is with Jesus, walking with Jesus the whole time, right after the scourging of the pillar as well. Not that our young friends should see that movie yet. For my 8th, I have a nail or a screw. A screw is a little safer so you don't hurt yourself, as opposed to the nail. Also, the nail that I had or the nail that I found didn't fit my egg. So if you have a bigger egg or a smaller nail, you can do that. And if our young friends can be trusted with a nail, maybe do that. But I think a screw might be a good alternative to remind us of Jesus being nailed to the cross. On the 9th egg, I have a little sponge with some vinegar. So it's nice, tactile, and smell to remind us of Jesus receiving the wine and vinegar on a sponge, which he turns away, which would have been a little bit of lessening of his pain, but he chose to not receive that, but right before he died. The 10th egg, I have a little cross with Jesus's face on it. Oh, sorry, I can't see it. Which is from a broken rosary bracelet that I had from before to remind us of Jesus's crucifixion, what he did for us. And then the 11th egg, I have a little stone here because Jesus was buried in the stone tomb. And then finally, the last egg is very simple. It's Jesus' resurrection. As we're celebrating the resurrection, his eggs, it's completely empty because Jesus is resurrected. He's not in the tomb. So I just encourage you to help your kids do whatever makes sense to them, helping them. There's a lot of versatility. You can do the Station of the Cross. You can do different things to remind us of the different scenes along the way. But then once it's all put together, it's a great way to walk with them through Jesus' passion into his resurrection and, since they're resurrection eggs. So I encourage you to continue to put these together and maybe share some of the ideas with other friends. We're going to try and do some things coming up here. It's been a little hectic, but by the grace of God, we'll get through. Just pray for each other, and I'll be praying for you, of course. God bless you, and I look forward to seeing you in the near future, whether online or otherwise. God bless you, and it's great to be with you today and sharing my story time with Father Rob digitally, which is the next best thing. God bless you, and see you later.